everyone, my name is Terra Newell. Today I'm going to talk about the second episode of The Idol on Max. So it's with Lily Rose Depp and The Weeknd, and it's with Sam Livingston as the director. He also directed Euphoria, for those who don't know. So let's also start to do my makeup. We're doing my makeup with this. So the last episode was intense. That's how we first met Tedris and Jocelyn's characters. We really got the layout of the episode and what's going on. She is a huge star. She has this huge team. She has a lack of boundaries. And it's really interesting because everybody is telling her what to do. And in this second episode, she is going to do the music video. So in this music beauty video, well, you first see her calling him a lot, telling him like, oh, I'm about to show them the song that we worked on, like it's gonna be great. He's not answering. It's literally daytime and he should be awake. So it's just really interesting that he's already like not answering her calls, and she's like this huge pop star person and she's called him several times, and there's not really like, oh, like you called a lot, like, maybe put some boundaries up. There's always a lack of boundaries here, what I'm realizing. And so she is just like, okay, I'm gonna show my team the song. She shows the team the song, and it is literally the worst thing on this planet I have ever heard. It's terrible. She thinks it's amazing because she's already being brainwashed by this guy. And she is just so sad when her team is like, no, we're not using this song. This is terrible. And so she is upset. She goes to her room. One of her managers comes in, or I don't know exactly his role, but he comes in. He like tells her like, oh, it's all gonna be okay, darling, but basically like, I'm paying half of your rent too. And I don't know if this happened exactly during that time, but it definitely happened in this episode where he tells her that like he's paying half of her mortgage, and so she better get her ducks in a row. Like she better start getting herself together, because she is not doing it. And then you see her do the music video. She is wanting to be a perfectionist. She wants everything perfect. She just wants it to be good. And she is like directing this video. She's out directing the director. She has a certain vision. And if I know a lot of directors, and they would not be happy if this was happening. They would be like, no, like I'm walking off set, you direct it, then do it yourself. So, but there's also union fees, there's people counting on you. So, you might also want to work with that idol. So they're putting together the music video, and she's working her butt off. She's getting it done. And then she's finally able to get a shot, and the camera stops working because the camera only runs for so long. And at this point, they're probably going on like certain hours that I don't even know of. Like, I don't think they're going into golden hours, but they're definitely like having a longer shoot than they were supposed to. So everyone's probably annoyed with her because I've been on set, and when it gets to a certain point, you're like, I want to go home. So you're like, let's get the shot done. She's like, let's get the shot done. And then she has to do it again, but then she's taking off her shoes, and her shoes are just wounded and bloody, and this poor girl like has been working so hard. So on the side, they're also pulling aside Diana, the girl that took her to the club, and they're like, "What can you do? Can you sing? Can you like do you have it all?" And then they're preparing to take her aside and record something. So while this is going on, she also gets on stage and then she starts calling for her mother that died. And this is really big because her mother died. She's been very wrecked emotionally, and it's seeming like she can't do things without her mother. And so that seems to me that her mom was kind of like the momager kind of things, but a lot of the times there's been super toxic relationships with the entertainment industry and mothers. So it's really important to have certain boundaries around that. And you're seeing her just break down. And so people kind of talk to her, try to boost her up, and then they're like, let's just get her out of here. Like, we got to just get her out of here. And then they get her out of there. She goes home, she calls Tedros, and then invites him over. And then he comes over with the guy that was hitting on her friend, her assistant, and then he comes over with like a few other people. And there's this girl that is kind of weird, in my opinion, and wants to jump in her pool, takes off her clothes, jumps in the pool. Jocelyn's cool with it because Jocelyn has a lack of boundaries. And so literally just like, okay, in the pool. And then Jocelyn starts to get like show him like some things. There's a picture of Prince. He's like, oh my gosh, you have a picture of Prince. And literally they go up to the bedroom. He's telling her exactly what to do, like telling her to do this, telling her to do that in sexual ways. And it's very manipulative. It's very manipulative in the sense like, oh, like controlling, like I'm telling you what to do, like you're my doll. And then what's extra weird is the girl that he brought over is like choking herself in a sense too, and is watching this. And like before, Jocelyn was also like touching her neck and doing things to her neck and like, pleasuring herself to like him and stuff without him there. So she's into this, but is it healthy for her? Is this what she needs after a mental health and breakdown and whatnot? So now she is getting even closer to this guy, and how it ends is they're doing a song and it's like, we are family. We don't like each other very much. And those are the words of the song. So it's setting you up already for failure because the song is so coerced, it's so planned, and it's so toxic. If you don't like your family and you don't get along very much, put boundaries on. Don't keep loving on them. Like, love on them in a certain way. Boundaries are so important. And if you are in a toxic family and you're like, oh, like, I'm letting my brother just bulldoze over me. He takes my car without asking me. So on, establish boundaries, you don't have to be in the family that shares everything. It's not healthy, so don't appease to someone else. And that's how the show ends, is with that song, and it's very toxic. And he's like, oh, I should move in. And then she's like, oh, yeah, you should. So she's already hooked. She's hooked in this toxic relationship. And to be honest, just in the second episode, I'm thinking he's a psychopath because everything is so calculated. Oh, and you also see a show of him at his place when he's talking with her on the phone before he comes over. and he's telling this guy to do certain things, and then there's these girls around, and it's just like him and these posses, but he's being the puppet master. And it's really weird too, because they also, the beginning shot into the scene shows puppets, so it's already gearing up that he is the puppet master. So that is the second episode of The Idol. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm now almost finished with my eyebrows. And then now in the third episode, I should probably be finished with the rest of my makeup. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you continue on, and I can't wait. So thank you guys. Well, I'm honestly gonna probably link these videos all together. So yeah.